your name?
Mike?
Check.
There we go.
All right, I have one request. Please, no asking for signatures or selfies. This is a Q&A line. You can catch Jen and Steve signing tomorrow, Saturday, from 12:30 to 2:30, and then Sunday at 2:30 to 4:30. Thank you.
Also, it'd be a really weird selfie from that distance, too.
Well, I apologize for being too hyped up, but it's just such an honor to ask you anything. Like, I've got two questions actually. So first off, like when I watched this one Final Space episode, The Grand Surrender, like I'm thinking like when this serpent type thing just is in front of the Crimson Light Crew's face, I picture, if I am true fan art because I don't draw properly, if there were ever a situation where I would actually draw a fan art, I could imagine just drawing the chief just saying, "Relax, I'd rather not piss this thing off." How would you feel appreciated with that line just being in such a situation?
I'm sorry.
How would you think about, like, or have you actually often thought about like your lines or performances being applied to other franchises?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, to other franchises.
Yeah.
No.
A totally different situation.
I've never thought about that. I have thought about how many times relax. I'd rather not piss this thing off. Has come into play in my daily life. Unrelated to Halo.
That's a different panel.
I'll tell you that. That's a therapy session.
Yes. We've got couches.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Real quick.
So Jen, if Ava from Final Space, who is the Crimson Light's AI, talked to Cortana, how would you picture their relationship?
Well, I don't know her, but I mean, AI's got to stick together, right? So I'm sure we'd have a great relationship. We'd go get coffee at the AI canteen.
A whole special section.
Digital trip.
Digital trip.
Hello, my name's Evan, and I have a question because I write a lot in entertainment, and I'd have to ask, what is your favorite or best emotion to convey whenever you're Master Chief or Cortana?
Well, for the chief,
I'm wondering about the chief.
I mean, the easiest emotion is when he's all business, status report. You know, Cortana, what's our status? You know, it gets a little more tricky when he starts to actually feel something. You know, other than being laser focused on the mission and you know whatever's right in front of him. It gets a little more complicated with him when he actually, you know, something starts to, you know, bubble under down here, and he has to, you know, sort of figure out how to handle that. So that's where it gets a little more challenging.
I love to play the snarky moments. And in fact, I think in the beginning, in the beginning, I think Marty O'Donnell will be like, yeah, okay, it's not one of those times, Jen. You gotta
hold it back.
She's actually just giving information. You don't need to be snarky. So those are my favorites.
Awesome.
No surprise there, I think.
Right? No.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Patrick. My question is, what was your favorite video game voice acting?
What was our favorite?
Favorite
Halo video game voice acting.
Halo 4 was the most fun for me because we got to be in the same room, as we had said, and really the last scenes were particularly challenging and fun.
Yeah.
And sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Same for you, Steve?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, but and you know, so I sort of alluded to it. You know, the story I always tell about when we were doing the last scene, and you got to remember, Jen and I had only met a couple of times before we went into the studio. You know, it's not like we had this long-standing familiar relationship. And with that in mind, when we got to some of those in crucial ending scenes, when Cortana was is dying, and the chief's trying to figure out a way to deal with it, I said to Jen, I said, look, if during the session, I reach for your hand, I don't want you to be weird about it,
I'm so weird.
But I don't know. I didn't. It's not like I knew her that well that I could just grab her hand. And Jen's like, okay, yeah, cool. So we get to that point, and I got so sort of inward.
Visor was fogging up.
Yeah, that I did not reach for her. And unbeknownst to me, Jen's like this, like, dude, you're leaving me hanging here. And
Totally Tom Brady'd me.
yeah, I did. Tom Brady did. And but what I do remember when we were all done, and Jen had a couple of scenes in there where she was literally crying and was emoting that expression or that feeling. And when it was over, Jen was like, "Okay, coffee break." Just boom. Right back in it. I'm like this puddle on the floor of like, just raw emotion and feeling, and like trying, taking,
You make me sound very callous. She just didn't care.
No, but I mean, it's the art of it was genuine when you were doing it, and when it was done, you were done. I couldn't recover.
You were done.
It was like a mess.
Hi.
Awesome.
I don't mean to float and sputter too much, but it's great seeing you artists live. I'm just stoked. But my question is more for Mr. Down.
Yes.
It might be an odd question, but
We love odd
the
questions.
best sound
kind,
effects for the multiplayer in the Halo games when the player character gets hurt or dies. How much fun did you have doing that, and what was your best? Do you think was your most favorite?
Well,
moment?
I couldn't possibly. When the very first time was obviously Combat Evolved, when we had a separate session, which is what I would call the death session.
Die quickly, die
Yeah,
slowly.
exactly. Because these are all the noises that I have to make when you guys screw up and Master Chief fights.
Nice.
There is a price to pay, folks, and I'm paying it. So yeah, but you got to go through all these different machinations of like,
They come up with weird stuff.
yeah, like really weird, like, okay, so
Slowly being eaten by a mongoose.
yeah, in a vat of burning oil. Give me that sound, or you're falling and you're having your limbs removed from you as you're falling down 40s. All these weird.
Draw upon your previous experience.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
drawing upon your experience
Right.
of that, what that must be like. So, but yeah, and it's the first time I ever did it, I thought, boy, I actually earned my pay today, because it was, it can be stressful, and then you have to, in my case at that time, I would have a radio show to do the next day.
Oh.
So you're trying to be able to, express all that without damaging your voice, because I actually had another job I had to do the next day for 5 hours, and so you try to protect yourself in that way.
Cool. Good question. Thank you.
It sounds a lot better here.
Hi, y'all. I'm Brett. Hypothetically, the war is over tomorrow. What are Chief and Cortana? What do you want Chief and Cortana to do to pass the time in retirement?
I just had all these weird scenarios.
I was like, I don't know if we should talk about it now. That face you're making.
Awkward.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want?
Would they-
Cortana.
would-
Cortana.
I think they'd be really thrown if there was peace. I mean,
Yeah.
what?
They weren't really built for
They
that.
weren't
were
built
they?
for that, were they? That's a really interesting question.
Yeah. And literally, they were not built for that. Neither Chief or Cortana were built for war. And yeah, so if that all of a sudden went away, that'd be, where's the remote?
What is the remote?
What is the remote? I thought you were the remote.
She'd organize whatever she was, wherever she was.
Yeah.
It'd be extremely clean and organized. Yeah.
Taking note, like, always keep fighting.
Note to self.
No peace.
Yeah.
That's good. Awesome. Thank you.
First of all, I want to thank you guys for voicing a lot of our childhoods, teenage years, anything like that. You've made a huge impact on a lot of us.
Thank you.
I had a question for Jen and a question for Steve.
Okay.
Jen, I wanted to ask you if you have like a favorite or standout, character moment or line or something that you delivered that you just really enjoyed that stuck with you over the years.
The line that I had a really hard time saying, and I had to say it over and over again, and it'll probably make me cry saying it now, because for some reason is very simple. It's "Welcome home, John," because it was her goodbye. That was really heartbreaking for me to do, and I loved it.
God, yeah, there's so many that. What's the one we were supposed to?
Oh, I was supposed to take care of you. We were supposed to take care of each other, and we did.
And she did.
It's my line, and we did.
My line, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I was supposed to take care of you. Yeah, I mean that was he was, and he felt like he dropped the ball, So yeah, that was kind of emotional.
This is one of the times that we see/hear Chief not seem really confident.
Exactly, and that's exactly right, and that was the challenge of Halo 4 for me was, all of a sudden he wasn't controlling every move that was happening, and there were things happening that he wasn't sure how to handle. So, that was fun in a way.
Awesome, thank you. Great question.
Yeah, good stuff.
Hi, my name is John, and first off, thanks to you guys so much for all the voices and everything. Thank you for touring the States for Outpost Discovery, and being here on these panels. I have a question for Jen, and funnily enough, it's also about Halo 4. I have a curiosity to say I'm an amateur voice actor. I do random projects occasionally. So I know about recast, ADR, and retakes and everything. I wanted to know how many times approximately did you have to scream, "I will not allow you to leave this planet"?
That's a good question. Hard-hitting questions there.
I don't remember. I imagine it was a lot. But they would put it at the end of the session so that I didn't. I don't know. Probably 5 or 6 times, 7 times. I don't know. Yeah.
It's crazy that would have been about 8 years ago that you recorded that.
Whoa.
Yeah. At least. Oh yeah. No, 8 years ago, right?
So when you're like, I don't remember. A lot of times it's easy to think like, oh, Halo 4, but that was just a couple games ago. But
a long time ago.
I remember the first time I realized that Halo was a big deal was it might have even been when Halo 2 came out, but maybe it was between 1 and 2. And I was with some people, and the kids were playing the game, and I had completely forgotten about it. And this is not, I don't think, that unusual for voice actors. You go from one job to the other, and I could do a job today, and you ask me tomorrow what job I did, I couldn't remember. It just leaves you, and you're on to the next thing. And so they were playing Halo, and it rang a bell. And I said, you know what, I think I voiced a character in that game. And the kids were like, what? Who? And I said, I couldn't remember his name. And I said, I can't remember his name, but I think he was the main guy in the game. And they said, Master Chief? Yeah, it was Master Chief. And that was when everything changed.
That was when you knew.
But I had literally forgotten the name of the guy. I was like, I don't know, somebody. Some big guy, some big green dude,
It's like there's a green robot and a blue lady.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Steven.
Hi.
Master Chief and Cortana are such huge characters. What's it like? Is there anything specific you do to get into character? Any routines? Say if it's rough lines or anything like that?
I do a lot of calisthenics. I'm kidding. I don't do any calisthenics.
Paint yourself blue.
I wear a blue leotard. No, Steve actually has an interesting answer to that.
Well, a voice coach years ago told me that if whatever it takes for you to try to inhabit the character that you're doing, and whether it's a video game character or you're selling a can of green beans, you need to get to some place in order to be believable in doing that character. So she would say, if it's a shirt or a jacket or maybe some kind of jewelry that will just help to click your brain into going there. And for me, and I can't even tell you why it was, but it was an old pair of cowboy boots that I still have. And when I only wear them if I'm doing a session for Master Chief. I don't wear them at any other time. So to me, it's a physical thing that almost tells me in a very visceral way, now you are Master Chief. And so that's what I do. I still, they're an old raggedy pair of boots that I've had a long time before I ever did Master Chief, but they've become the
Master Chief boots.
The Chief boots. But it helps me to get into character in that weird sort of way.
What will you do if those boots fall apart?
Let's not go there. Let's not go there. They will not.
We will send people.
We will we will fix that.
It will be taken care of.
The boots will be fixed.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Great question.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Brendan. What is it? I'm a little nervous. Sorry. I just want to thank you guys. You've been a huge inspiration to me, not only as a voice actor, but as a storyteller. As you contribute to help the stories being told through what I grew up with. I guess my question is, what's your best advice to people who are trying to kind of thrust their way into the industry, whether that's as a voice actor, as a screenwriter, a storyteller, or any of those kind of job titles?
As a voiceover actor, the thing that I would say is take an acting class. Take a beginning acting class so that you understand what people are asking you to do, and also take a basic on mic class just so that you get familiar with the microphone and feel comfortable using it, and mimic the things that you like that you hear, because that is so often what you'll do is you'll mimic these things, and after a while, and many of them hopefully if you can, and after a while you'll become so flexible using your voice that you'll be able to create your own. What was the phrase that you had talked about? It was about mimicking. You can't remember now. Forget it. But those are the things that I would suggest if you want to do voiceovers. As far as screenwriting goes, I am not the person to ask about that.
The only thing I would add to what Jen said is I think improv work is good because it helps you to think on your feet. So much of voiceover, whether it's gaming or commercial work, you're given the material minutes before you're expected to audition for it. So you have to be able to, turn on certain switches in your brain to get you where you need to be. And improv, that's what improv is faking it right on the spot. And I think those are good, and like Jen said, mic technique, being comfortable with the sound of your own voice. A lot of people, I remember the first time I ever heard my own voice recorded, I was like, I don't sound like that. It always sounds weird to us when you hear it outside of your own body. And just get used to that.
Awesome.
My name is Collier LaFontaine. I just want to say thank you for voicing these characters. You've really brought me and my brother closer together. This is our one thing that we have. We always fight, but this is the one thing we agree on.
Awesome.
I just want to know if y'all play any Halo. If you have, you said Halo 4 was your favorite. Is that your favorite to play, or just make, or?
We're lame.
We are totally
We're so lame, and we're not I played Halo and I couldn't get out of the first room that you're in. It's like the ship's going down. We're screwed. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, mankind. I'm stuck in the ship.
We proved that in the Pelican drop here at Halo Outpost.
Were lame.
You do not want either one of us on your team in the Pelican drop.
But
guaranteed failure.
I make my husband play through, and I watch him, and I often get on the headset. So, and I've done this several times before where I'm talking with people.
This is already awesome.
Yeah. I'm talking with people and they have no idea. And my husband, I remember one time afterwards, my husband being like, that was Cortana, guys. And the guys were like, yeah, screw you, it wasn't Cortana. And he's like, no, really, okay. So.
Oh, internet.
Yeah. Did you like my imitation of people playing Halo? That wasn't very nice. Terrible.
What's great is like half of them are nodding.
Yeah.
They're like, yep, that's pretty much it.
That's me.
Nailed it.
Yeah. No.
Awesome.
But, you know, if you hear somebody who sounds like me and is saying, well, I never said I was Cortana, that's the other thing, but I could be out there.
It could be.
I could be playing with you.
It could be.
Well, my husband could be playing with you.
Yeah.
What do they think? What do the spouses think? Like,
My
is it
wife
just like
went
a-
to her very first video game convention of any kind 2 weeks ago when Halo Outpost was in Chicago. And it was the
Awesome.
first time she had ever, witnessed
All right.
the experience of what this is, and she was blown away.
That's awesome.
On a lot of levels, so yeah.
I don't know what my husband, I mean, I think he's proud of me.
Yeah.
He better be.
God damn it.
Yeah, but, yeah, I don't know.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Great question.
I'll ask him that.
Yeah, right? We'll do a panel with him.
I should text him.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's what we ought to
We'll do the
What do you-
spouses.
what do you
Spouse
think
panel.
what do you think of me?
Yeah.
Hi. I just wanted to know, so in Halo 3 On, we see Cortana go, this is kind of a two-parter for both of y'all. So we see Cortana go through a lot of really traumatic events and has a lot of like anger and hurt, and she's kind of broken from then on. And I wanted to know what it's like performing those emotions, and then Steve, being the wall that is Master Chief, what's it like acting across from that?
It was, it was like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, honey, like what was the share line and what was the snap out of it? Come on.
That must be a hopeless feeling for Chief. For
was.
me, it was really fun. I mean, to get to dive into something meaty like that, all actors want to play those roles, We want to play characters who are having a nervous breakdown, who are losing their minds, because it's fascinating and scary, and you learn a lot about yourself and about humans in general. So it's weirdly a pleasure to play those moments. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey.
Hi.
Me again. So I had a question. It's kind of stolen, but anyways, I have a new one. Do you guys have any like special interactions or relationships with previous like Halo voice actors, like David Scully, Keith David, the Gravemind voice actor, I forgot his name, and then the 343 Guilty Spark voice actor at all?
David Scully is coming over to my house Thursday night for dinner.
There you go.
There you go.
So yes.
Inside scoop.
Next question.
Yeah. David Scully is a good friend of mine outside of Halo. We were friends in theater, so he is the best theater actor in the country. He's so good. He actually doesn't act anymore. He's a writer. Yeah. Anyway.
I met a couple of years ago, has it been that long, Keith David, who I was an admirer of long before The Arbiter and Halo and all of that, just as
You had a voiceover crush on.
Oh, I did. A total.
Who doesn't?
I had a total fan crush, and I told him so. I am not worthy. It was just. But I've always admired him as an actor and as a voice actor as well. And it turns out he's a really nice guy. And we did a couple of panels together, and some art, and it was great to meet him and sort of exchange stuff, and cool guy and a great actor.
What did you exchange?
Your
wallets?
Yeah,
like,
pleasantries.
Pleasantries,
baby
I guess.
pictures,
I was
things like that.
This is when I was 18.
Things that guys do. Isn't that what guys do all the time?
They exchange stuff.
Yeah, we exchange stuff.
Here's my phone.
No, yeah, exactly. Here, take it, Keith David. Take anything. Take my cowboy boots.
No! Thank you.
Awesome. Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I'm really nervous. I actually never thought I'd ever in the whole of my life stand here and talk to the two people that made me actually fall in love with video games.
Well, look at you. You're doing it.
Yeah. But this is more of a question for you. Did you know at the beginning of Halo 4 or at the end of Halo 4 that you were going to die? And how did you feel when you kind of realized that you weren't going to make it to Halsey and get fixed, per se?
I knew at the beginning. And how did I feel about the character not... Yeah. How did I feel about it? Well, you never want to see your character die.
She's like, oh, fine.
Oh, great. Yeah, oh, fine.
I got car payments to pay.
No, you never want to see your
I
character
got a mortgage, for God's sake.
And I really love her. I mean, I think we've expressed that. I really love this character, both Halsey and Cortana. And how did I feel? I felt excited. I mean, it was a fun thing to play, and so I had to think about it in that moment. I did realize, okay, I guess that's it. But then it wasn't.
Okay. But wait, there's more.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I never say never because I didn't have any idea Halo, the first one, was going to be a success.
So to add on, how did you feel then with having to play her in a more antagonistic adversarial role?
Fun. That was super fun. You know that long monologue that I do in Halo 5? I don't know if anybody... I think I had one shot at that. Maybe two. But I didn't have her much. It was super fun. I love doing that. It's so fun when your character breathes and expands in an interesting way. We love to do that. I mean, I love to do that.
Of course.
Was I disappointed that she was dying? I guess that's the question you're asking me. I don't know. I mean, I knew that I hoped that I was gonna continue to play Halsey, so I felt like, I'll hold on somehow. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do one more question. One more question.
It's Jaws.
Hi, my name is Colton, and I'm here with my family.
Hi, Colton.
First of all, you guys give great handshakes. Thank you, and that says everything about you guys. So my question is, can you guys do some improv? I want you to swap roles. So Jen be the cold, hard super soldier, female Master Chief, and Steve be the bubbly AI, male version of Cortana. Can you do that?
I got this.
My favorite question.
Cortana.
She gets the easy
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
For once.
Status report.
Well,
I can't wait.
I am not worthy. I am not equipped.
All you gotta do, Steve, is what you normally do. Blah, 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 blah. My line.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, Cortana. Yeah.
Come on.
No, yeah, blah, blah. No, I don't have it. You got me.
Steve, what would you wear? What footwear?
Well, no, I'd break out my blue leotard. On second thought, nobody needs to see that.
Come on, I want to hear the smooth, clean Cortana. Let's do it.
I'm trying to think of a line.
Oh, come on.
Give me a line.
Don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it.
That was in my
Don't
head.
make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it.
Wow, that's the first time anybody has made him do that. It makes me so happy.
That felt kind of good. Also, kind of liberating, actually.
I can think of no better place to wrap things up than that. Guys, please give them a big